For workshop 13, we'll first look at how the WBS and LOE activities work, and then we'll set a baseline. So first off, I'd like for you guys to open up the whip float layout. Go to your layout, and open a whip float. After doing so, we're going to create a new activity that's going to be directly under the bid document WBS. So just press your insert pad on your keyboard, use the addition button, or you can right click and select add. After doing so, it's going to have a ID of OZ1140. We're going to call it WBS activity. Now we're going to assign it an activity type of WBS summary. In doing so, you will go to your general tab, and under activity type, click on the drop down, and we'll select WBS summary, and then we're going to schedule. Now, if you take a look here, you can see how it works. What it does is summarize the entire WBS that it falls under. So it's summarizing that the start of this entire WBS is from January 4th, and it runs all the way through January 27th. Now, if I take it under, let's say, the top technical specification, and I reschedule, you can see it does the same thing, December 7th, and then finishes at December 23rd. Okay. Now we're going to go to tools, schedule options, and change the compute total float to start float. So what you do is you can either select your schedule to get there, or you can go through tools, schedule, or just press F9 on your keypad. And we're going to go to the options. And where it says compute total float as start float, you're going to keep it as start float. Okay. Some of yours might have finished float. If it does, just put it as start float. And then after doing so, go ahead and schedule. So for example, let me do the finish float. And if you see here, it shows the finish float of 8. So it's showing the end float under the WBS activity. And if I'm to go back and change it to the start, go to F9 options, and I change it to start and reschedule, you can see it's showing a start float of 6. So, and that's how it generally will work. Now, I want you guys to go back and make sure that it's at the finish float, and then reschedule again. Okay. Now for the LOE activity, we're going to apply the without float layout. So just select the without float, and then change the WBS activity type. We're going to change it to level of effort. So go back to your general tab, change it to level of effort, and then we're going to change this to LOE. And then I want you guys to open the bars form and make sure that the level of effort bars are displayed. So we do have those. Those are generally the first two which are shown. So click OK. And then what we're going to do here is drag OZ1140. Again, if I never touched on it, once you take your mouse all the way to the left-hand side, you can click on the activity and actually drag it per WBS. So what we're going to do here is drag it to the delivery plan and sort on ID. And then we're going to add some relationships to this LOE activity. For the predecessor, you can go to your relationship tab. And for the predecessor, you're going to assign OZ1060 as a predecessor. And I want you guys to give it a start to start relationship. Just a moment here. Okay. I have it as a finished milestone. Okay. It's supposed to put LOE. So if we go back now, I'll be able to choose a start to start. And then for the successor, we're going to assign it a successor of OZ1070. And I want you guys to give it a finish to finish relationship. And then schedule. And then after doing so, you can see what it does here is takes the calculation from OZ1060 all the way through 1070. This is a 6-day calendar. That's why it's going all the way through to the 16th. Whereas this LOE activity has a 5-day calendar, as you can see here. So that's why this is ended on the 15th. But you get the gist of how it works. Now we're gonna experiment with another one. We're gonna add 1050 as the predecessor. So what I'm gonna do here is just clicking that, clicking this, right click, link. And if you go to your relationship tab, you can make it a start to start. And then we're gonna assign OZ 1110 as a successor. So I'm gonna first click on 1140, then click on OZ 1110. Right click, go to link, and then after doing so, click there and make it a finish to finish. So what it's supposed to do now is actually calculate, even though 1060 is there, 50 precedes it. So it will take the date from 1050. So right now it will say December 24th, and with 1110 coming after 1070, it will show January 25th. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule. And as you can see, December 24th all the way through January 25th. So now after doing so, we're just going to go ahead and delete it. And that just shows you how the WBS activity works as well as the LOE activity. We're going to assign a baseline. In order to do so, first we're going to go to project, maintain baseline to create it. And then what I want you guys to do is select add, save a copy of that, the first one, click OK. And then once created, you can leave it as B1 or change it to baseline, however you see fit. And we're going to assign in the baseline type of customer sign off. There's several other options. There's the initial planning, and they're self-explanatory. So just depending on what part of the project you're in is what you select. So we're going to do customer sign off. Now, as far as baselines go, you can always baseline as much as you want with Primavera Infinity. So if you want to baseline every other week, every 2 weeks, or every month to compare to what you've done previously, that might be a good idea as well. So we're going to close. And then after doing so, you're going to go to project, assign. So you go to maintain to create one, and then you go to assign that baseline to the project. And we're going to make it the project baseline as well as the primary. So if in case you have other baseline, you can use this as the project, whereas you can put the new ones to compare them, both first, second, third, as much to see the differences between those different baselines. So we're going to click OK. And then we're going to apply the width float layout. And then after doing so, it says do not save the current layout. So we're going to save this as layout, save as Osbuild Workshop 13. Baseline layout. Now I do have one already created, so it's going to add an additional _1, as you can see there. And then if required, display the following bars. So if required, you can go to your bars just to make sure. You want to make sure that all current schedule bars, which are actual work, is showing, remaining work, critical remaining, your milestones, percent complete, summary, float, the negative float, the project baseline bar, which isn't checked, the project baseline milestone, and then make sure no text is displayed. How you can make sure there's no text displayed is you click on the bar labels, and if you go through each of them that are checked currently, you would see if they have any text displayed here. Now, if I was to, for example, with this baseline bar, give it a position to the right, give it a activity ID or something, hit apply, you can see that the text is being displayed on the Gantt chart. So if you have anything like that, you will know. If not, then there isn't no text being displayed. I'm just going to go ahead and delete. Whenever you want to delete any of these labels, you delete from here, not from here, because that would delete the entire bar option. After doing so, you want to make sure to display the following columns. So we're going to go to columns, ID, name. So I'm going to do a list, and then want to show activity percent complete after the name. Keep original duration. We want to show the remaining duration. Start, finish, total float. And then we want to show the variance baseline project finish date. The project finish date, which is right there. And then click OK. Now you want to make sure the time scale is daily or weekly. So if you take a look here, right now I'm in, I believe, a weekly time scale, because you can see that's the week of the 4th, the week of the 11th, week of the 18th, so on and so forth. So you keep it as I have right there. And then you want to show the time in the 24-hour format, but do not show the minutes. So you're going to go to Edit, User Preferences, and go to your Dates tab. And you want to show a 24-hour format, but don't show the minutes. So make sure that's done, then click OK. And then we're going to go ahead and save the layout. Now, you can take a look and, compare your answers to the PDF, which you have printed out, so you can see better. And you can just compare your answers from the remaining duration, as well as the total float. That will give you a good overview. And then if you take a look at your bands up top, that will give you a better view as well. 13, 18, 18, just going through the dates. Make sure that your Gantt chart matches as well.